why did you become the mayor of Sedona?
Well, that's a long story. And I'm going to get probably brutally honest with you. I am going to be celebrating my 17th year of recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction tomorrow. It'll be just a little over that amount of time that my wife and I moved up here to the Verde Valley. In the initial stages of my recovery, I didn't have any idea what it was going to be. I mean, I think most of us think that we're going to go through the 30-day recovery program and then we're healed. To really be healed in recovery, what you need to do is change your life. Before that time, my life was about me. Almost from the day that I got into recovery, it started becoming more about serving. The last thing on my mind was getting into politics. I felt as though politics really corrupted the whole idea of giving. So we ended up moving to Sedona by mistake. And just so happened, and this is the way life goes, we moved in next door to who was the mayor of Sedona at the time. We got to be friends with them, and somehow she talked me into running for city council. If your heart's in the right place and you really connect with the community and listen, what you can accomplish is amazing, and it's been just a really fulfilling thing for me. I really love being in a job where, everywhere that I go, whether it's in the grocery store or whatever, I'm talking to people that I serve. I was just meeting with the rabbi. About 2 years ago, I started a concept in Sedona called 4 Hour City. And what it is, it's a collaboration between the faith-based groups in Sedona or the greater Sedona area. So the rabbi and I were talking about a hunger project, and I was also sharing a little bit of the intimate details of my background and why I got into service with her. And so I thought, you fellas coming in here, I'd share that same story with you. I equate really heart with soul. And, I look for guidance all the time. And, some people call it their gut, some people call it their heart, some people call it their soul, but, it's that guidance that if you are quiet and you listen, I think it'll give you direction. I didn't have any faith before I got sober. The thing that I liked about the 12-step program is that you can define that higher power whatever way you want. It's just a power greater than ourselves, and I think it's pretty easy to identify with that.
Yeah.
That there is something greater than ourselves, and I'm very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Whether you're a Christian or Buddhist or Hindu or whatever, that is a power greater than ourselves that we're being guided by. A lot of people are attracted here because of the spiritual nature that there seems to be the perception out there in the bigger world that Sedona is a spiritual place.
Yeah.
The vortexes, there's a pretty strong metaphysical presence here. It's probably, in the world, the one place that really is identified as a metaphysical gathering place. The ironic thing is that this was very much of a spiritual center for the Native Americans. You don't find many actual ruins in Sedona proper because it was considered to be sacred ground. So they didn't live on their sacred ground. They lived in the area around it. The Native Americans are probably the least prominent among all of us here, in terms of those folks that are following a spiritual path. So I'd like to encourage them to get back in here and reclaim their ground. Well, I think they feel like the ground has been kind of desecrated.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways it probably has. I mean, this area should have never been developed.
Yeah.
It should have been a national park. Fortunately, most of the people here really honor, what we have.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the focus here has been about preserving that.
Yeah.
To me, that made probably more sense than most of the organized religions in terms of their connection with nature. It's pretty easy to define nature as a higher power.
Yeah.
No matter, how hard it is for you to identify with Christ or Buddha or whoever, nature is certainly, we can all identify with that.
Yeah.
There are a number of organized religions that all of us have a higher power, but because you don't happen to be of a certain faith, whether it's Christianity or Muslim or whatever, then you're following the wrong path. That's absolutely absurd, you know. I mean, the idea is that we're all brothers, we're all sisters, and we're all here together. My son's 26, and you know, what I've done with him is just exposed him to the idea of, you know, of spirituality in their life. It doesn't have to be organized religion, whatever form that may take. And again, the idea of, you know, there is a power greater than yourself, and however you honor that and follow that is up to you.